What's up guys, Sheldon back with another review, and today we're looking at the Super Action Statue Gold Experience from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Golden Wind, or Bento Oreo. Alright, cool, let's take a look at the box really quickly right here. Here you go, some of the poses you can put them in. The accessories he comes with, mostly just hands, which we'll take a look at in a second. An alternate head and display case, or stand I should say. More poses, we got a box window here. And we got more poses here. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at the accessories. So here are all the accessories he comes with. Really not that much. Again, just hands here. We just have the open hand for both sides, kind of like the, I don't know, it's not quite a chopping hand, but it's like he's cupping his hand a little bit. Then you have the more relaxed open hand here. And then for the right hand, we have a pair of pointing hands, which we'll take a closer look at in a second here. And of course we have an alternate head. Alright, so let me just kind of put this camera down so we can take a closer look here at the head first itself. Focus in here. So it's sculpted pretty well here. It's got the detail even in the eyes as well. Got panel lining throughout the head as well as the kind of like the cranium and whatnot. And overall it looks pretty nice. It's got this nice pearlescent yellowish color here. It's pretty glossy by the way, and like I can see that like the light is shining off of its face, so it looks nice. It looks really nice. And then for the right hand here, we got a pair of pointing hands. We have one straightforward pointing hand, and then you have another one that's like maybe more delicate. Not really sure, but it kind of looks like the Darth Vader "I'm gonna force choke you" hand. And since we're looking at it right now, though, here you can see that the hands do have the ladybugs on them, which is pretty nice. I really like the kind of purple and gold color, Laker colors, I suppose. And then the knuckles are also painted as well, and the kind of like the finger crevices is painted. So overall, it's pretty good. Okay, well, let's take a look at the figure then. Oh, also, goes without saying, aside from those hands, he also comes with the two fist hands out of the package. Alright, so Gold Experience stands about, let me see if I can get him fully in frame. He stands about, let's see, a little over 6 inches, just short of 6 1/4, and that comes out to, is it 15? Roughly 16 centimeters, so pretty decent height here. And here he is next to Giorno. You probably saw him in some pictures here with their feet slightly apart here. So he stacks up pretty well. And here he is next to Gold Experience Requiem, who is just slightly taller, maybe even the same height, if I get them out to stand at the same width of their legs. So yeah, just maybe slightly taller here. Again, he's supposed to be the upgraded form, so I guess it makes sense. Well, actually, now look at it. They're almost the same. Pretty close. Alright. So let's take a look at the paint sculpt first. So overall, Gold Experience wasn't really one of my favorite stands. I don't know, like I read part 5 and I liked it because it was so fabulous. Maybe because the color, or not the color, the power is like not super well defined. That it like kind of just does whatever it wants. So overall, I mean, even though it's not one of my favorites, I do like the design. So first let's talk paint. You can tell by the way it's probably shimmering here that like it's just this glossy, I don't know, creamy yellow. It's showing up to be a lot more yellow in my video, but it's like more closer to, I don't know, like I guess just cream. But it is yellow. I guess gold. I mean, it is in its name. Anyway, but it does look really nice, and it's glossy pretty much everywhere except for the ladybugs. And I do like the purple and the way that it complements the gold, though. And I do like how like it has all these like little etchings. I don't know what they are, but like these little indentations here are all sculpted in, so it looks very nice overall. And in fact, it's a pretty complex looking figure in terms of the design, despite how slim it is. So in terms of the design, I do like it. Pretty flamboyant, but I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, let me see. And there's also shading in this loincloth here, and I do like how it's actually matte instead of glossy like the rest of the figure, so it's got some good contrast. But let's take a look at the articulation here, and wow, it is so shiny. You can see my light. I'm going to put my light a little further back. Okay. Cool. So in terms of articulation, pretty standard for this line here, though. So on the head, it's that hinged ball joint here, so you do get a swivel. It goes up pretty well, actually. Let me get this to focus better. Okay, so it goes up pretty far, and then it goes down a pretty decent amount. And again, just using that hinge here, and then combined with the neck itself, which is on a single ball joint, you do get a bit of rotation. Pretty good. And then this is him looking all the way down, not quite as much, and looking all the way up, almost like horizontal, like he's flying here. All right, so pretty good. The head does sit a little farther up on the neck, so you see, like, you can see in here, so that's probably why it has such good articulation, but I'm not complaining. For these shoulders, they are on a hinge here, so you get a little under 90 degrees thanks to the shoulder sculpt here, but you do get the full rotation, no problem. You also get a bicep swivel right here, which is hidden pretty well thanks to the sculpt here. And of course you have it pegged into the elbow, the elbows, it's like this double ball hinge, but it's pegged into the bicep, into the forearm, so you can swivel it at the top and at the bottom, as well as the bicep. So basically you'll have as much articulation as you want. But here we go, that's the bend at the elbow. He can punch himself in the face, no problem here, and heal himself, I guess. And then for the wrist, you know, we got that hinged peg right over here, pretty standard for this particular line. So hinge, you get that to rotate. So nice, it's a very nice articulation. For the torso, let me see, I believe it's, I can see in here, but it's probably a single ball joint over here. Yeah, so pretty good range of motion. Something that is something to be aware about is the fact that, like, there is gapping, you'll see. So I mean, the sculpt is nice. You see, like, the anatomy over here. I don't know, well, it looks like he's like trying to suck in his stomach or something, or maybe he's just super fit. But you see it like curves up here, so it looks nice when it's flush, but once you get it out like that, his stomach becomes a mouth. So, oh wow, yeah, it's like eyes and a mouth. So, I mean, that's just something to be worried about. But I'm not complaining. It does give us pretty good range of motion here. So here's it going back. Here it going, or here it is going forward, and then pretty good side to side. And then you get some pretty decent rotation as well. And then for the hips or the waist, it's same type of articulation here. So just on the ball joint here. So when combined, here is the crunch. Actually, not that much. And here it is going back, which is actually a little bit better. So ab crunch, it's there, it's okay. And you do get rotation, of course. And then for the hips, well, let's take a look at these two things really quickly. These are on a ball joint right here, plus these are soft plastics. These can swivel and move, but you're probably not going to be able to move them all that far because these things, even though they're soft, are probably just going to pull it back in place. But for the hips, standard ball joints, so you get pretty good range of motion going up, and there really isn't anything blocking him, so maybe this is about as far as you can go here. Let me pull out so you can see better. So pretty good. And then off to the side, you see that these things just move out of the way. Let me see. Probably, nah, it's not a 90-degree angle, but, you know, pretty standard though for this type of joint. You're not going to be able to go out that far. And you can see that you do have a thigh swivel right here, no problem. And then you can do double jointed knees pegged into the thigh, so you do get a swivel here. The knee pad does get in the way, but it technically is there. And then for the ankle, you have this much range going back, so he can't quite point his toes like a ballerina. This much going forward, and then you do get a toe hinge, which is frozen here. So there it is. It's pretty loose, so you're probably not going to be able to get him the balance on his toes. And then for the ankle here, unfortunately, it is sculpted down to the sides, as you'll see, so you can't really get much of a ankle rocker here. So which is a bummer. So overall, my impression is I actually really like this figure. Again, despite it not being one of my favorite stands, it just looks really great. I just like the design. It's kind of unusual. I like that he's got these like wings over here randomly. And overall, the paint job and articulation, it's just good. Again, he's a little skinnier than some of the earlier stands, so maybe the aesthetic doesn't appeal to you, but if it does, it's just great. The articulation, it's just like unhindered, even though the sculpt itself is a little bit more complicated and flamboyant. So if you're a fan of this particular character, and of Giorno, I do recommend you pick it up. It's a pretty great looking figure, and it definitely has a lot of shelf appeal. Alright guys, well that pretty much does it for this review. I'm going to put this guy in some poses at the end for you all. But if you enjoy, feel free to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.